Hello, Just Gem here and welcome, or indeed welcome back to my channel. Today I thought I would show you some of my favourite non-eyeshadow products that I've been using. I'll kind of go in order of application, I think that makes sense. So I've got a box in front of me, so I've been going through my makeup and I've collated everything that I tend to be reaching more for is an everyday staple, or just basically everything I've been enjoying that's not an eyeshadow. Let's have a rummage. So first and foremost, Danessa Myricks Blurring Balm Powder Foundation in the shade 9.5. So this is one I had been waiting for. I had been eyeing up this foundation. They had it in shade 9 and shade 10. And I suspected that 9 might be too light while 10 would be too dark. But they'd released, I think, 3.5 and 8.5. And I'd seen other people in the comments really vocal about a shade 9.5. And they've finally introduced it. The little spatula's just fallen out. And yeah, I've been using it. So this is the foundation that I use when I'm going out. So I don't use this for filming because, quite frankly, I don't want to waste it. But I use this for my day-to-day makeup. So I'm actually wearing it today because I've been out and about. And I've hit pan. I don't know if if it will focus to show you I've hit pan. I don't know, but you can see it's well used. It's a perfect shade match. It comes with this little spatula to help you get it out. I mean, you can just shove your brush in there if you want to, and occasionally when I'm feeling lazy or if I've misplaced that, I will just shove my brush in and then apply it to my face. This has been an amazing foundation. If you've got combination or oily skin and you struggle with your foundation lasting, I highly recommend this foundation. But my shade matches are down in my description box in case that's of any help. That's my go-to everyday foundation. And yeah, how long have I been wearing this now? I put this on, it had been applied by 10:30 and it's now 6 p.m. and there's not a single, there's no oils. It's got Upsolite in it, which I think it's the technology that sucks in any oils that's in your skin. So whereas by now my forehead and my nose would be an oil slick right now, nothing. Love it. Amazing foundation. 100% repurchasing this, definitely. Next up, I don't have a concealer that I rate. I'm just kind of panning what I've got. Everything that I talk about all the time, we're just going to get those out of the way. Eye products. Be Perfect, perfect priming. So I've got oily lids, but I tried a Sigma one and that was almost too grippy. So I might go back to that. That might be a good eyeshadow primer to use in the summer, perhaps. But this one isn't too dry. It works pretty well. So I'm just looking at my lids right now. I do have some creasing, but it's quite minimal. And it's more on this side. I think this eye is ever so slightly more hooded. But I think eyeshadows lay down really, really well over this primer. And it's definitely something I would repurchase. I do want to play around with that Sigma one a bit more, but I've just found that sometimes it can be too intense even for my oily lids, but maybe I'll play around. Maybe what I'll do is, like, on an unrelated note, but an eyeshadow palette I've been trying lately, I get severe creasing on that, so maybe I'll try it on my Sigma eyeshadow primer instead and see how I get on. Next up, I think this is probably a staple in a lot of people's makeup / eye kits, and that's the NYX Glitter Primer. And this is just good if your shimmers are lacking some oomph, or you just want them to stay a little bit longer. You want to minimise fallout with your shimmer, so I haven't used it today, but these shimmers have held up really well without having to use it, but I do have a considerable amount of fallout, and I think that would have been minimised had I used this. But it's the first time I'm using this palette. It's the Vintage Neutrals palette I'm wearing today. Been using that a lot. And then the next eye related but not eyeshadow palette entries are the Thrill Seeker mascara and the Clinique Easy, is it Easy Peasy? No, Pretty Easy, that was close. Clinique Pretty Easy eyeliner and the Rimmel Thrill Seeker mascara. This just is in its prime at the moment. You know when you first open a mascara and it's too wet, almost. It's nice, but it's just perhaps a little bit too runny almost. It's at that peak, I think, where it's just the right level of thickness, and it's probably going to start that decline now, you know, and it gets a bit too dry. But I'm loving this mascara. I have like a mountain of mascara I need to get through. Like I'm testing them out and I'm doing them one by one, because mascara is one of those things that I don't like to keep for longer than 6 months, because you're not supposed to. And when you're doing it that apart from eyeshadow powders, which I'll keep forever, but mascaras I do try and stick to that 6 month point, which I think is this one nearly there. I'll have to check, but I might be able to eke this out and finish it before the 6 months is up. This, I think I got this in a random beauty box, because I definitely didn't buy it, but I tried it when I wanted to start using eyeliner, because I think it does help to finish off looks, and I found it pretty easy to. These Colourpop cream gel liners, these are the multi-chrome ones, and I think originally I bought 2 of them from Beauty Box by Tammy, who are closing down, which is really sad, and I'm resisting the urge to go on the website and just buy everything. It's exercising some strong willpower though, I must say, but these are amazing, especially for the price point. So as I said, there's 6 of these in the series, the multi-chrome ones, really pretty shades and go beautifully in your waterline. So I bought 2, enjoyed them so much. I think it was these 2 I bought originally. Enjoyed them so much I bought the other 4, and Colourpop had a sale where you could buy the original, like, so the non-special ones for $2 each. So obviously I have now bought all, is it 25 of them? 25 of them, yeah. So they are waiting for me for when I go and visit my friend in the States to pick them up. But I mean, at $2 a piece was an absolute steal, and it worked out cheaper than buying them even on sale in the set that they come in, the 25 set. So I painstakingly added 25 individual ones to my basket, held my breath just in case some of them sold out while I was doing that, but I was fine. I should probably ask him to open it up and count them and make sure they're all there. I'll do that. My brushes, I'll put them all together. We're going to ignore the fact that these are beyond filthy. I was watching back my Nomad Polar Express video, and I commented that one of the brown shades had a burgundy hue. It doesn't have a burgundy hue, it's just that I still had some red pigment left on my brush. So that was like a wake-up call. That was, generally need to wash your brushes. But my refers, I've got 1, 2, 3, and I am including my face ones in here. Then I've got 4, 5, so 4 is this angled one, 5 is this sort of round one. I use that for, so that's my blush, that's my bronzer, and then I jump up to 13, 14, 15 and 16. Despite the fact that these shed, I love them. I really like the way that they apply eyeshadow, and part of me wants to buy some backups, but I feel like I can't justify backups because I've got some Made by Mitchell eyeshadow brushes, and I've also got some as yet unused Sigma brushes to use, so I should really go for that. And then a special mention to my Zoeva, what's this one? Zoeva 237 Detail Shader, which is my go-to inner corner highlight brush. Half a point off, I won't dock a full point, but half a point off for the fact that they shed, but the shedding is minimal, and I think it's calming down. It was worse when I first got them, but I just love how they apply my shadow. I really, really do. And they do have a sale on at the moment. I'll think about it whether or not I get backups, because I do really like my Refa brushes. And yes, I am going to clean. I've got a lot of time on my hands this week, so I am going to have a sit down, whack on some music, and finally clean my brushes. What's next? Made by Mitchell Curve Case. Would I go as far as to say this is my favourite non-eyeshadow product of the year? That's bold. I don't know, because I really like that foundation. Really like that foundation. But especially the deep. I've got the deep and I've got deeper than deep, so I purchased that a bit later. So I admittedly don't reach for that as much. So the intent is for someone deeper than me, but I can still use this. So if I want to use one of the deeper shades, like this one, it looks like I've barely touched it because I haven't quite yet. I think the only deep shade I've gone into is Statuette. I think that's the lightest deep shade in here. I can 100% use the other ones, but I go in a bit ham and I always forget how pigmented these are. So I'm nervous to use these as bronzer and contour just because of how careful I know I'm going to need to be. But I have gone into the blushes, so you can see I think I've used this one and that one. These two as yet are untouched, but that's mainly because, and I mean you can tell just by looking at the outside. Look at the state of that one. Plus, and this is newer, as I said, but this is the deep. Look at the state of that. And that's not bad actually, considering how much I go into that, but that's because of how pigmented it is. You can go in lightly. Like that's a lot of use, but it doesn't look like it, because if you use any more than that, I mean, I've got on, what have I got today? Cherry Cola, which I've set with, I mean, this isn't part of my favourites, but I've set it with Sunset Sally from Trigwell Cosmetics. And that's, I mean, as I say, I did my makeup at 10:30 this morning, and this is how it's looking. However many hours, 8, about 8 to 8.5 hours later. That's not bad. Loving that. Really, really enjoying that. I think I'd go as far as to say that this is the best product Mitchell's released. I prefer these, I think, to the blushes. I reach for these more than I do the blushes of his that I have. So if you haven't nabbed a curve case, I highly recommend it. And if you're in the UK, I think they are in the US now on the TikTok shop. I don't know, but have a look, because the RRP is 30 quid and originally they were always sold out. I had to wait to get my hands on this, but on the TikTok shop I think I've seen them for as little as like £12.50. So if you can get hold of these, I highly recommend it. Now you know what time it is. If you're new to my channel you won't know, but it's all about the NYX Buttermelt blushes. I love these. Love, love, love. Love. So the eagle-eyed among you will see that that's actually a bronzer, but it's not a bronzer for me. I use it as a blush. This is like a glowy, warm blush on me. The two bronzers that I'm actually using as blush are the two deepest ones, 7 and 8. It's gonna zoom? Probably not, but doesn't need to zoom really. So that's 7 and 8 that I use. Blush wise, I don't think I'm going to get any more of these now. I think I've got all the ones that I would want. I've got 5 Had Butter, 7 Butter with Thyme, 9 Feeling Butter, 10 Back and Butter, and 11 Butter Than Before. As I've mentioned numerous times, they smell delightful. They are incredibly pigmented. I really love that the bronzer has got this wavy embossing and the blushes have got this embossing on. You can just, I mean, it's not focusing because, you know, why would my camera focus when I need it to? I just like that touch. I love how they smell. A little bit goes a long way. I remember going back to using this after I'd been exclusively using the Trigwell cosmetic blushes that I was sent and forgetting about the pigmentation, dipping my brush in, shoving it on my face and going. So it took some finessing. I was able to tone it down, but now that I've got these and considering all the other blushes that I own, I don't think I need to ever buy a blush again, because with the pigmentation in these, I don't know when I'd hit pan, to be honest. I've been loving those NYX blushes. If there's anything that has been correctly hyped this year, it is these NYX blushes and bronzers. The bronzers, not as bronzers, I don't think they work for that purpose. I think they're too red for that, but that's what makes them really good as brown blushes. So highly rate that. And they're cheap. They're really reasonably priced. For what they are, NYX have knocked it out the park. I got, I think, 4 of these Made by Mitchell Blush Pressed Lights Highlighter Duos. This is the one in Soul Searcher. This is what I've got on today. And I've got on the shade Warm Soul, which is the deeper one. And I really like these. You can build them up gradually. I think I was a bit heavy-handed, but then I just kind of swiped a bit with my powder brush to take the edge off. These are beautiful, and it's funny because I never really used to be much of a highlighter gal, and I wonder if that's because I'm generally someone who's pretty heavy-handed, so I would apply highlighter and it would just go ding and it would be a lot. But I have learnt to be a bit more subtle, a bit more delicate with my highlighter, and for the price that you can get these for, the price that you can get these at, for the price, they're incredible value. Again, TikTok shop, always offers, always sales. I think it was 4 for 33 quid or something like that. A late entry, this one snuck in at the end there, and I'm using this a lot lately. And it's the Revolution Glow Splendor Ultra Matte Bronzer in the shade Dark. And it's weird, it doesn't look that dark in the pan, but it is quite dark when you put it on, and it just gives a really nice bronze. I'm wondering if I can add a touch more just to show you here, but I'd say I'm already sufficiently bronzed, to be honest. I've been really liking that. It also smells delightful. I wonder if that's coconut. I don't know, I don't have the box anymore. Remember, I bought a whole load of bronzers once because I thought to myself, I want to give this bronzer malarkey a go. This is one of the ones that I bought, and then I never really touched any of them again. And then I dug this out because, especially now that it's winter, I could do with a bit of extra help with some bronzing. And yeah, this has been delightful. I've thoroughly enjoyed this. And I don't know how well this would work in the summer when I'm deeper, and I don't think there is a deeper shade, but I'm looking forward to trying that in the summer months just to see what it does for me, if anything. That snuck in like the last couple of months, and I'm really liking that. For application, I'm showing a clean one, the other one's filthy. Trigwell Cosmetics Powder Puff. Just, I like this size because it's just really nice for getting in there. And then you can just go like that for the rest of your face. I just really like that I can just get right in, and they're cute and squishy. I bought a bunch of cheap ones thinking, yeah, cheap ones will do. And then I got these in the Peachy Keen set. I've mentioned, didn't like the Peachy Keen palette, but the rest of the set I've quite enjoyed. And yeah, I rate that a lot. Really love that. Feels rather nice on the face there. And then last but by no means least, we've got my go-to nude lip, MAC Persistence. I've got a little rivet in there now. But if I'm not wearing a colour of some description, this is what I lean towards. Or Roll-In made by Mitchell, but I prefer this. This is my go-to everyday nude lip, MAC Persistence. You'll have seen me using this a lot if you've been watching my videos. This is the 89 Fine Velour Lip Liner, and it's from Taj's collab, so that's Donnie Darkowitz collab with Blend Bunny. Loving this lip liner. I think it's, especially for deeper skin tones, it's a staple. I'm going to have to buy more of these as backups because I'm scared in case they discontinue it, because Blend Bunny has a habit of discontinuing stuff, I'm learning, which is very sad, very, very sad. When I'm doing a nude lip combo, if I want to add a bit of gloss, the one I've been reaching for is this Say Glossy Bounce gloss in the shade Dip, and I wear that on its own sometimes as well. Again, sort of another late entry, this Chroma Gloss from Glisten Cosmetics in the shade Phoenix. So this is beautiful. I think I've used this a few times in videos, and I've used it quite a few times off camera as well now, and I enjoyed it so much I had to go back and get some more. So I haven't tried these yet. I got these recently. These were part of a Black Friday haul. Do I do a Black Friday haul video? It's a bit late to do a Black Friday haul video. Let me know in the comments. I'll pin a comment down below and you can just reply and let me know. Would you like to see a Black Friday haul video, or has that ship sailed at this point? And that's everything. Those are my favourite non-eyeshadow palettes that I have been reaching for by far the most. Would I have a favourite overall item? I don't know, I might, maybe the Curve Case. I think I've kind of hinted that. Just because of the versatility, because it's blush, it's contour, it's bronzer, and not that I've tried it yet, but I could use these shades on my lips as well if I wanted to. I love this for oily skin. I think these two, and Taj's lip liner. Can I have? Yeah, my top three. I think if I had to choose, these would be like my three favourite non-eyeshadow products of 2024. Yeah. I hope you've enjoyed that. That was quite fun actually. It was quite nice to almost reminisce about the makeup I've been using, and it'll be interesting to see how much of this I reach for during 2025 as well. And I'm curious, what have been your favourite products of 2024? Have any of my favourites matched your favourites? Yeah, let me know. I'd be very, very curious. And it also might help me think about products I want to try in 2025. I don't want to go overboard. I have bought a lot this year, but I think I was almost making up for lost time because I hadn't bought much in the previous years. I think I've caught up with myself, I think. I'd love to know what your favourite products are. I hope you've enjoyed seeing what mine have been. As always, thank you for taking the time to watch, and hopefully I'll see you again in a video in the not too distant future. Take care. Bye.